I'm also going to be doing a video soon where I will be going over the mods I have. I've had some friends to email me questions about which mods I have, which mods I recommend, which ones I prefer. So I'm going to be going over those just in case any of my viewers also have questions or are curious about which ones I use. Now to make a right hand turn, like a 90-degree turn, there is a trick I'm going to show you, because as you can see I'm having to swing out kind of wide to mow everything. The trick I'm going to show you is you cut off your windrower and you make the opposite direction, make a complete loop, come back in and you engage the line. Then you just activate your windrower. You can do this when harvesting, plowing, seeding, things like that. Make your turn, come back in, engage the line. Excuse me. It helps you make a bit straighter lines whenever you do that, which helps whenever you're coming back in with the baler to pick up this grass. Now another thing that you can do, because the grass will grow even though this is laying on the ground, so you can, if you want to, leave all of this grass, go do something else, wait until your second harvest, and then come through and pick it up. As you can see, there's not any grass out here, so I can make a wider swing with that one. I'm doing this because I'm trying to get a straight row through here instead of it zigzagging in and out. I don't like that. And again, if you have any suggestions, comments, suggestions, questions, anything like that, please feel free to ask in the comments section. I look forward to hearing from anyone who has any suggestions or comments. Please keep things polite. I like my videos and comment sections to be something that children can read without having any problems with graphic language or anything like that. So please keep things civilized when you comment. Criticism, I've got no problem with that. Again, I ask that you just keep it civilized. Keep it nice, keep it clean. This is a bit of a boring job right here. I know in real life it isn't quite as boring for some people. I know for me, when I used to mow, it wasn't really this boring. In the game it is somewhat, because your interaction is just solely with the computer system, and not so much with like the entire environment around you and all. I do miss that though. I'm hoping that I can physically get back to where I can go out and do the stuff I used to do. Been hoping to get over to my parents' house and help them with their yard work, but haven't gotten to that point yet. Now once you get to where this is real narrow like it is here, instead of making those complete like loops like I was doing, you can just run out to the end, turn, come down the other side. It'll work just as well. Now, if I do any other games in the future, I would like to do racing games, motorcycle games, things like that. I have done racing in real life. Of course, I did it on racetracks, things like that. And as far as motorcycles, I love motorcycles. I always have. Even before I started driving one, I had a love for them. So I am hoping to eventually get to where I can start doing motorcycle racing games, ATV, things like that, like race car games. I like NASCAR games with drafting, where they make it kind of realistic. Some of the games, not too good at it, but there are a few of them out there that really do a realistic job of it. And those are the ones that I like, so. Okay, so we're about to go and get the wrapper. Or not wrapper, I'm sorry, the baler. Gotta bale before you're out. You can't wrap the grass, then bale it. Well, I'm sure it would be possible for somebody to do a mod like that. Just joking. Okay. So here we go. As you can see, it doesn't really take that long. If these trees weren't here, it would just be that little patch there. And if the trees out there weren't at the end of the yard where they are there, then we could have used them too. Alright. We have the trailer on that tractor. So, where's our baler? Going to drop the decks there. Gonna drop the windrower. So right of them. Right there. Okay, there's a baler. That's right, I put it over there. Well, we can actually start down here. We're already here. Okay, we lower the pickup. We turn the baler on. And then just straddle these. You see the baler filling up. And you'll see that it's filling up actually a lot quicker than what it did when we had the wheat after it was harvested. You back this up. Alright. Just like that. It's that simple. I like to do an aerial view of this because it helps me make sure that I didn't miss anything. Yeah, back up, back up, back up. And get it backed up in time. Oop. Yep, looks like it did. Yeah. I really like that mod that auto unloads it. Comes in very handy. This fills up real quick. Yep, missed a patch there. It's okay. It can be saved for the next time. Now it starts beeping like this around 2,700. I think that's liters or something like that, the measurement. So it'll hold 4,000, so it starts beeping around 2,700, so a little more than half full. So you want to start keeping an eye on it whenever it starts beeping. As you can see, this narrow line here doesn't really fill up that well or that fast. But whenever you get a larger area where it took all 3 mowing decks worth and brought it into one, yeah, it fills up a whole lot faster. So we're getting a pretty good bit of them. It's a pretty good harvest that we're going to get here. We're going to get a pretty good chunk of change out of all of this. Oh, with a little bit right there on the end. Alright, so starting at one end, going all the way across. It fills up right there. So yeah, we're getting about 2 fill-ups or 2 full bales in just one row here. Bring this over here. I'm not going to fool with that little bit out there at the end. And one of the things that we will do with the money we get from this is we're going to go ahead and start paying off some of the loan that we've got. That way the cost per day on the interest is going to be a whole lot lower. Because that interest cost is really killing us each day. So I'm just gonna ride in the cockpit for a while, or in the cab. Let me see, I think it's F1 I believe that cuts off, yeah, that section on the top left in the gray that gives you your commands. And I just heard my brother leave, so he's underway. And just look in that side mirror there, whenever you see that bar come up and then come back down, that lets you know that it's finished emptying it. Go back it up. So if you look out the back, you really can't see the bale. See, gotta be a good ways away before you can actually see the bales. Excuse me. I go outside here so I can see the view better. And if you like the mod that I'm using for the camera, so that the camera doesn't rotate with the tractor, let me know if you prefer me using that more. I prefer it. Especially, I don't get motion sickness, but even when I'm the one controlling it, it just gets aggravating when I've got the camera pointed somewhere, and then I make a turn with the vehicle, and where I have the camera lined up, it changes that view, or where the camera is lined up at. I really don't like that. I prefer to set my camera at one place and it stays in that direction until I move it. And whenever I talk about this tractor, I keep saying Ford. If you hear me do that, I do apologize. It's a John Deere. I live in North Carolina, and around here, Ford and John Deere are very popular brands for tractors. They're not necessarily the best, but they are very popular around here. I do hope that eventually the company, John Deere, will let them let Giant Games start putting their tractors in this instead of people having to mod them in, because John Deere's, in my opinion, are pretty nice. I know a lot of farmers that use them, and it would be nice to, I mean, even if somebody doesn't like a particular brand, it would still be nice to see that brand represented, but kind of keeping them from putting it in a game. To me, which this is what I've been told, is that John Deere would not allow them to. But to me, it's kind of hurting yourself if you don't want your own brand represented in a game as popular as this. It kind of makes me wonder, how you really view your product if you are afraid to have it widely distributed in a game. Yeah, I'm not going to let this drop here. That's just going to fall down. I don't want it rolling down that hill. But yeah, for any of the manufacturers out there, for any reason, I mean, if you have a product that you stand behind, as long as they don't misrepresent your product in the game, as long as the product is represented properly in the game, I don't see any reason to keep another company from doing it. And it may be that I was given the wrong information by mistake by somebody, but like I said, in my opinion, it kind of shows how you view your own product if you do try to keep them from putting it in. And you can see this was one where we had a couple of rows that were windrowed together. You can see how much faster it fills up. That is a lot quicker. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm gonna roll that down that hill, aren't I? Maybe not. Maybe it'll stop before it gets down there. Maybe not. Yeah, it stopped. Good. You can see that one there still rolling. I like how they do that. See one over there rolling. This does take a bit more time than I thought it would. Uh-oh, that may not have been a good idea. You can see a whole bunch of bales out there, can't we? Which that's what we want. Nope. That's a big spot there. Really don't need to do that, do I? No. Just, I can't stand leaving messes, and to me it's a mess. Even leaving those little splotches out there, so right of where I am, bugs me a little, but I'm trying to be efficient in this. And sometimes that means just leaving some of the mess. I can't even stand dirty room, dirty apartment, things like that. I can't stand it. If anything's out of place, I have to put it back in place. It really bugs my brother, since we're renting an apartment together. We're kind of like the odd couple. He's more of the just, you know, I made a mess, so what? When I need that area, I'll clean that area kind of person. I'm not like that. I'm the kind of person where as I make the mess, I clean the mess. And if at all possible, try to keep from making the mess to begin with. But it does make for interesting times while we're living together. Wouldn't trade it for the world. We have things that we see things opposite in, but you know, if you see everything exactly the same way as somebody else, life gets really boring that way. I do like these fields when they're mowed. I just think that they look a lot nicer mowed than whenever the grass is up taller. That's just my preference in it. Okay, now we're about to get to where all of the rows are pretty much straight. I think we've been doing this for what, almost an hour now? So this is going to be another long video. There's another rolling bell. Okay, since the rest of these are all flat, or not flat but straight, I can pretty much just hop in here. And do it like this. Voila. I prefer riding in the truck, or in the cab sometimes. There's a bell still rolling down. That's one of the rows. I think I pulled some of this row in with the one to the right of it. And I really wish that they could have used a better tone for those things. That really annoys you sometimes, don't it? But it's okay. Boom. Lined right back up. Okay. That was the last field.